So last night's presentation was a bit of a fail. And so if you tuned into it or if you missed it, we were unable to successfully do the MyFitnessPal presentation. So I'm going to take a minute to do the presentation in its fullest right now. I want to take some time to talk about the importance of logging. There is a reason that I ask my members to log. You have a 50% higher likelihood of success when you log. This is not something that I've made up. It is something that has been proven across the board. Not only are you aware of what you are taking in, but you are acknowledging everything that you are putting in your mouth and you're documenting it. So I am able to see it myself and you are able to see it. You are less likely to bite and nibble and graze on things, and that is more than likely what will cause that disconnect to occur when people don't understand why weight loss isn't happening. The other major plus to logging is when you're working with somebody, such as a coach, such as myself, I'm able to go on and view your log, and I'm able to troubleshoot and see what things you might not be doing properly or might not be adding enough of. You might be looking at something and you might need attention towards adding more protein or eliminating sugar. And it could be an innocent mistake, or it could be something that you're doing completely right, but that your body in particular might need a little more or less of. So by logging, I can go on and I can troubleshoot and see what things to look for. So before we get started, last night during the presentation, I was able to discuss the advantages and the disadvantages to MyFitnessPal. Advantage, it's a free program. It is a program that has now gone worldwide. Most people have it. Most of you have had it before you even joined my program. The disadvantage to that is that it's a database, and the information that's in there is dumped in there from people such as you and I and everybody else, all the other users, that input information gets put in there. So it's not always as accurate or as valid as you might think it is. And there are ways to figure out the different levels of validity and accuracy, and that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. So for example, you might put in chicken breast and you might get 7 different amounts for skinless, boneless chicken breast. And it might range anywhere between 20 calories and 80 calories. So what should you do? Should you pick the 20 calorie per ounce, or should you pick the 80 calorie per ounce, or do you go somewhere in between? The answer to that, if you're getting such a wide range of numbers, is to Google. If you just Google it, you're going to get the true amount. And so that is the first thing. And once you save that amount in your MyFitnessPal, then you can always pull from that one, and then you know you're safe. The other thing you can do is scan your items. So if you notice on the back of all grocery items, even frozen goods, even deli goods, there is a code. You can scan that with your phone, and that will dump that right into your MyFitnessPal. That is an accurate way to input that into your MyFitnessPal as well. But you still have to pay really close attention to make sure that your portions are correct. To give you an example, I had somebody once scan their beef, and they put that into their MyFitnessPal, but they did not input the proper portion. And so what they scanned was per ounce, and they only calculated 1 ounce of beef when they put in 16 ounces in their recipe. So you still have to make sure that you're looking at the calculations, and it does take a little bit of work. But the more you use it, the easier that it becomes. And then furthermore, there is a verified check mark that you can look at to see which amounts have been verified by other users as more valid measures. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, okay? And on final note, if you're using MyFitnessPal for restaurants, you'll find the most inconsistencies with that. For example, if you go to Jimmy John's and you put in turkey, tom, unwich, you're going to have an array of different unwiches that people may have put in, because someone may have taken the unwich and inputted it without mayonnaise. And so you're going to get one amount, and you're going to have somebody else that put it in with cheese, without cheese, with you know, extra turkey, and the list goes on. So the best bet when you're doing restaurants is to first go on the website and use that information, because that is going to be the most accurate. So that is how that works. All right, so I am now going to share my screen. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I am going to pull up MyFitnessPal, and I am going to share with you some things about this program that you may not be aware of. First off, this is my screen. This is what I see when I open up MyFitnessPal. All of these entries here are you guys. And I have a ton of friends because I am the leader of this program. And so I want to point this out to you because when you guys work out, I see this. I see that Amy burned 268 calories during 83 minutes of exercise. I also see when you lose weight, but I don't see your actual weight. So this person here lost 0.1 pounds since weighing in. But if she were to gain a pound, I don't see that. It doesn't advertise, or it doesn't blast out if you gained a pound. So that's why I still want you to send me your daily weigh-ins, okay? If you log out for the evening and you complete your diary like I asked you to do, then I will get a little prompt like this person here. And it says view diary. So when that happens, I can click on it and I can view her diary. And I just want to let you guys know this is all I see. I can't see your weight. I can't see your recipes. I can't click on and see what you have created. I can't see your weight charts. This is it. This is the extent of what I can see. So for those of you that think I can go in and manipulate things, I've always wanted MyFitnessPal to create an admin board for people like me to be able to go in and do stuff like that, but it does not. Okay, so when I go on your FitnessPal, this is what I do. I open it up and I look at it and I look for certain things. First, I make sure that you are entering everything in, and I make sure that you are including all of the elements, a fat, a protein, and a carb. And your meals are already designed for this. And usually what I do when I'm skimming is I look to see if your calories are balanced. If somebody's calories for lunch are in the 500 or 700s, then I'm going to zone in on that, and I'm going to look to see what has possibly gone wrong. Here we have carbs, fats, proteins, sodiums, and sugars. And I've kind of designed my board to read these things. And so this is kind of how I skim everything. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my home, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to create a recipe. And I know some of you have seen this already, but I'm going to show some advanced tricks also. I'm going to create a meal, and then I'm going to create also a recipe. But I'm going to also include some elements of watching what happens to your fats, your proteins, and your carbs by the way that I'm adding certain ingredients. So if you are brand new and you're a newbie, the macro portion of this presentation is not for you yet. Look at it as a prelude to what's up and coming. You can certainly use it and lead by example, but I don't want you to get tied up with trying to meet your macros yet, okay? All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to add a food. All right, so for my breakfast, ideally you wanna follow what is on your meal plan. More than 50% of the time I go on people's menus and you're just following the calories. You need to follow the plan. The calories themselves are not going to cut the mustard, okay? And so I'm going to have my omelet, which is my eggs, and I'm gonna add my eggs here. Oh. And now I'm going to add my egg whites, and I already have that in my little log here, but I have 4 egg whites, and I'm going to add that. Okay, and so I have my healthy fat that's in my egg and my 4 egg whites, and I also am going to have some of my kale. That is my vegetable, and some spinach, and I'm adding that, and that is my breakfast. Okay, I eat this every single day. Do I have to sit here and type that in every single day? Well, I can, but I'm going to show you a quick trick. Really quick, I want you to focus down on here. This is my macro pie. As you can see, the purple is protein. And that is because most of my breakfast here is protein. By looking, I have 24 grams of protein, and that is half of my meal. So I want you to kind of keep your eyes on this, because later on, I'm going to show you what's going to happen to this. I'm going to go to Quick Tools. I'm going to put a Remember Meal, and I'm going to name this Kale Egg Meal, Save Meal. So now I don't ever have to type this all in anymore. If I have this tomorrow, I can go to Quick Tools. I'm sorry, I can go to Add Food. I can go to Meals. And there it is. And I just have to hit Add. And you see how it dumped it all in there? Super simple, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go back to today. All right, so that is how I've added my breakfast. All right, so morning snack. I'm also, while I do this, going to point out the top mistakes that I see people make. All right, morning snack. People tend to just eat snacks to have a snack. And most of the time when I see people's snacks, it's stuff like this. I'm gonna have a banana and an apple for my snack, okay? So if I put in a banana and an apple, and if you notice on your meal plan, there is no snack choice that is a banana and an apple. And this is why. Calories are great. Look at the carbs, 26 carbs, no healthy fat, 1 protein. So although this is a great caloric choice, it is not a good balance whatsoever. And I'm going to scroll down now, and I'm going to show you my macros. You could see now what has happened. My protein has been taken away, and it has been taken over by carbs. Simply because I had an apple and a banana. And I know that those are fruit, and they're natural and wonderful, but it's all sugar. And if you're trying to lose weight, this is not going to do it. So I'm going to delete these, delete, delete, and I'm going to go on my meal plan here, and I'm going to pick out a snack from my meal plan. And let's see here, I think I'm going to go with the rock and rice cake. Okay, so the rock and rice cake, I'm going to add tuna fish. And again, I could just scan the label here. Okay, so 1 can of tuna, add. And that also had a rice cake. 1 rice cake, add. And avocado, 1/3 of an avocado. So here I have 1 medium avocado. I'm going to take my 1 and I'm going to make it a 1/3 and add. And so you might be all watching this going, well, that snack now is 225 calories. Why would she do that? Well, this is why. I have 32 grams of protein. That is why. I have 7 grams of healthy fat, and my carbs are only 11. And of those 11 carbs, none of them are sugar. So I'm going to now reveal to you my macros. And as you can see here, see how that protein, I'm still majority protein because of me following that meal plan. Okay, and so I'm going to remember this meal, and I'm going to call this rockin' rice cake. Oopsie. How about we call it RRC for short? Okay, so tomorrow, if I want to have this rockin' rice cake, it is right here, but I want to show you something. Meals, rockin' rice cake. Let's just say tomorrow I decide that I'm not going to have avocado. I'm going to use a different healthy fat. Because according to your nutritional plan, you and your guide, you can substitute a healthy fat for a different healthy fat. So I'm going to not use avocado. I'm driving and I'm not wanting to eat an avocado in the car. So instead, I'm going to have some cashews. And according to my nutritional guide, I can have 1 tablespoon of cashews. So I'm going to change this to 1, and I'm going to add it. And you can see here the calories are pretty parallel. It did not change anything at all. And my macros look the same. And so that is how I was able to change my meal that I've already saved without having to delete everything and waste my time. Okay, so let's go back to today. It's lunchtime. All right, so for lunch, I'm gonna follow one of my recipes. Okay, and this might take a little bit more time. So what I'm gonna do now is add food. And we are gonna go to recipes. Let's see here. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. Recipes. I am going to enter a recipe. So I'm going to show you how you can create a recipe and manipulate it as well. All right, so enter the recipe manually. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is recipe name. Let's just say I am going to I'm going to use my lentils because that's a popular one. And lentil soup. Okay. servings, 8. All right, so enter or paste the ingredients here. All right, this is the part that I'm so excited to show you. All right, so I have to switch my share screen here. And that did not work. Let's try that again. There it is. Okay, so here is my lentil soup. This is right off of your meal plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of the ingredients. I am going to go to copy, which is an edit. And now I'm going to go back to my Myfitnesspal. And I'm going to paste them all in there. Boom. How exciting is that? Okay. So now I just put all the ingredients in there. I didn't even have to type it up. Now I'm going to hit match ingredients. All right. So done. That's it. 111 calories a serving. That's it. I'm done. Bingo. All right. So let's just say though that you made this recipe and you decided that you wanted the serving size to be a little larger because 111 calories, that's just not enough. You want to be able to, you know that your lunch should be in the 200 to 300 calorie range. You could actually play with the servings here until you are in that 300 to 400 calorie range. So now I've made my lentil soup 3 servings, and that's a lot. And this is not implying that you should eat that much lentil soup, because if you did, you would have a stomachache and you might be in the bathroom for a long time. But my point in sharing this is before you finalize it, you could play around with the ingredients. Okay. Let's just say now I want to see what it looks like if I added another ingredient. What if I wanted to add some chicken to it? Because I decided that this wasn't hearty enough. So I'm going to add some 12 ounces of chicken. And so now by adding the 12 ounces of chicken, my soup is 148 calories for 1 serving. So I'm going to leave it at that, save it, log it. Today for lunch, 1 serving, boom, done. Okay, super, super simple. And that's pretty much how you do it. Okay. And again, by the way, this is not enough calories for your lunch. If you were having the lentil soup, what I would advise you to do is add either another cup, or I would add some sides with that. Either have some quinoa as your carb, or add a fruit. Having 100 some calorie lunch is just really, really on the low end. Okay. All right. So moving on. Afternoon snack. I'm just going to go ahead here and I'm going to pick one of my snacks that I already have to save us some time here. I'm going to go with my avo egg rice cake. And you're going to see as soon as I dump this in, it added all the ingredients of my avo egg rice cake. And I'm looking at my macros. And those of you that are looking at macros can see here how I'm able to look at my amounts. And I can manipulate them very easily by adding more or less of an ingredient to up this. And then of course for dinner, same thing. You want to add a recipe. Let's do that again. That was kind of fun. Recipes, add recipe manually. I'm going to pick a dinner recipe this time. New share. Let's see. That's not what I want. New share. Okay. So for dinner, you have this dinner outline. And you could see here, it says protein, a fat, carbs, use in moderation, and vegetables. So let's create a recipe of something that maybe you eat regularly, and let's put it in MyFitnessPal and see what happens. Okay. So something that my family likes to eat a lot is spaghetti squash with chicken and broccoli. And so I'm going to create my own recipe, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay. So my chicken is going to be the protein. My fat is going to be the olive oil. My carbs are going to be the spaghetti squash. My extras that I'm going to use in moderation are going to be the cheese that I use. Let's do it. Okay. All right. So back to MyFitnessPal. All this back and forthness. Okay. All right. So we are going to call this spaghetti squash. All right. So I'm going to enter my ingredients. Chicken, spaghetti squash, broccoli, spelt wrong even, cheese, olive oil. I don't even need the portions yet. Okay, matching my ingredients. Oh, it's asking how many servings. Making it for 4 people. All right, so here we go. Chicken. How many ounces of chicken? I did not use only 1 ounce. Edit quantity. I used a total of a pound. So that's going to be 4 times 4 is a pound. Okay. Spaghetti squash quantity. I am going to, don't like this because I actually used the spaghetti. So I'm going to go to replace, and I'm going to put in here spaghetti squash. And I want you to see what's going to happen. It's going to give me all these other options for spaghetti squash. Because what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an actual big squash. Here it is, whole spaghetti squash. So I used 2 whole spaghetti squashes. There it is, 2 whole squashes. Boom. All right. So do you see how I manipulated that? Okay. Broccoli quantity. Again, grams. Most of you don't know grams, so I'm going to replace this. I'm going to put in broccoli. I'm going to spell it right this time. Here we go. And I'm looking for a cup of broccoli. There it is. So I used 4 cups. Oopsie. Broccoli. 4 cups of broccoli. So MyFitnessPal also has a bunch of different measurements, so you sometimes have to find the one that you want. A cup of cheese. and I used 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm going to change this to 4. Okay. And so now I'm looking at this and it comes to 382 calories a serving. And that is perfect. Now let's just say I knew I had some extra calories and I really love cheese and I want to add more cheese. I can go on here and I could add a little bit more cheese and I could see, oh, that's too much calories. No, 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 no. Let's go back. I'm keeping that. Okay. So do you see how you have room to play? All right. So now we're going to go save it, log it today for dinner, 1 serving, log it, boom, boom. There we go. And we have our protein, we have our fat, and we have our carbs. All right. So those of you that are watching your macros, what I like is to be equal, a third, a third, a third. And you might look at this and say, my fat's too high. That's what you would say. Your fat's not too high. Your carbs are low. That's the problem. And so since this meal here has no carbs, that's the problem. So let's add a carb to this. Let me just have let's see here. Let's just have some tomatoes and some tomatoes and where's that half a cup of rice. Now I just simply added my half a cup of carb, which is what you should have in every meal. And look at this. Boom, boom, boom. We did it. So is it perfect? It's never going to be perfect, and you shouldn't try to have it be perfect because you will lose your mind. This is pretty good. Okay, this is pretty darn good. And I still have 200 calories left for my bedtime snack. And so plop that in. That could be your casein pudding. It could be one of the desserts that's on my blog or on my samplers. But before I end this, I want to show you what you can do to save calories if you want to have a splurge, such as a glass of wine or a piece of chocolate. Okay, so how do we do that? We can't take anything out that's essential. We can't take out the eggs. We can't take out the healthy fats. So what are you to do? There is room for you to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to find all or any of the things that are considered bells and whistles. Bells and whistles are things that are extras that you don't have to have. They're accessories. And if you don't include them, then that leaves you room for that glass of wine or that piece of chocolate. Okay. So going back and looking at this, I'm going to look at this and let's see here. I could take out my kale, but then, I'm taking out some essential vitamins. I definitely could take out this tomato. It's 25 calories. But the biggest thing that I could really save on is going into dinner and taking out the cheese that I put on my dinner salad. That would save me some calories if I wanted to add some extras. This particular day is not a great example of days where I can pull out of extras because I didn't set it up that way. You do have 200 calories remaining. If you wanted to plug in that glass of wine, and you could go over by 200 calories. But the bottom line is you have room to play if you are very careful. In some of your lunches, I'm going to show you here. by adding, I'm going to add a recipe here that has something that you could take out. Quinoa breakfast. Oh, that's not showing it to me. Fruit is something you could pull out. Cheeses is something you could pull out. Even some of the carbs you could pull out that aren't necessary, and you could plug in some of the fun stuff. But you should not take out the healthy fats. You should not take out the proteins because you definitely need them. Okay. And then finally, I want to show you one last thing. When you're doing a search, let me do a food search, and I put in something like chicken. And I just add chicken. All right, so we have chicken, and you could see there's all these different things. Notice how some of them have a check mark. The ones with the check mark are verified, which means that they are a little bit more accurate. But if you hit nutritional information, over here, you see confirmed by 350 users right here. Last confirmed, 11/10/2020. That means that 350 people agreed that this is accurate. And I'm going to also agree that that was accurate. That is a really good source, okay? I'm going to try and find one that might not be as accurate. Let's see here. Okay, this one here, 65 users thought that this was accurate. So in this case, I would not trust this particular one. And so that's kind of how you look, and they are kind of put in order by like ratings. So the lower down that you go, confirmed by 0 users. So in this case, I would not trust this one. Okay. So and I believe this is a feature that you can't see on your phone. And then here, if you can't find something and it is something that you want to put in, you could type it in yourself. But see, that's where you have to be careful, because I could literally take my bottle of nail polish and enter that in, and it would be in there. So be careful, make good choices, and no matter what you do, log. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed this, and log. Have a good day.